Inga. It's my first time in Bali. I'm Russian, but I've been living in California for the past 15 years, and so I'm a little bit shocked about the amount of Russian-speaking people here in Bali. So I just wanted to ask you, how do you see the Russian-speaking culture integrating into the Indonesian culture, and what do you see can be the problems or advantages, actually?
Okay, look, again, I do not care, and no one else should care about the color or what kind of I don't know, the color of your passport. Yeah, basically, I don't care if you have West or I know Brazilian, Jamaican, like whichever. Like, you understand, we should judge people not by the passport or by the cover of the passport, but literally by maybe how cool they are, how cultured they are, how fun it is to hang out with them, and so on. Like, that's my thing. You know, if anyone doesn't like whichever country, like, again, I'm German, yeah, so like. So again, so you understand. So kind of like no type of racism is ever good. That's that. And so let me tell this as German. Yeah. So whoever is complaining about that there are too many Russian-speaking people is an idiot. Like, so I will say Bali has the cool Russians anyway. Like, if you want to see stupid Russians, go to Thailand. Yeah, you will see a lot more of this. Yeah. So that will be my first remark. Yeah. But if you a lot worse, people will be in Turkey or Egypt. Yeah. So I mean, like, that will be the real working class rednecks. Okay. So I mean, like, rednecks. Yeah. So majority of the people here are like kind of upper middle class. Let's say Russians who moved here like pre-war, or pre-corona, I will say, like, you could not distinguish them at all from any other like expats. They were always like kind of spiritual, like kind of people on the way to enlightenment, some sort of enlightenment. Yeah. So these are the Russians I was living with for less maybe 12 years. Yeah. But they were never. You could not see which country I'm coming from, because like English was completely the default language and so on. So but. Right now, as a, like, Corona created like from a maybe marginal, maybe 10% or 15% tourist group, created the majority of the expats on the island. During Corona times, like for over 2 years, Russian speaking, I will not say Russian because again it's an offense to Ukrainians or whatever, or Kazakhstan, whatever, or whoever. There are so many countries, Baltic republics, whatever. So people just agree on one common language, but doesn't mean that they have the matching passport. Yeah. So as I say, so during the Corona, Russian speaking community become like the majority of expats. Yeah, because. People who stayed here decided not to go back into the like kind of like gray winters and shit weather, and better to die on a tropical island with coconuts in the hands than at home, yeah, with vodka. And so the people stayed here basically. So, and it was fun, yeah. So fun. We opened in Corona 2020, and we did have like nearly 80% of all people moving in were Russians, but not because we advertised towards this, but because they were just 80% or 90% of all expats living at the moment in 2020 were Russian speaking. Okay, great. So, look, right now, maybe even there, kind of before Corona or even during Corona, only people who could afford to stay on the island moved to the island. Yeah. So like that means you did have a financial, let's say, kind of abilities pre-selection. Yeah. So people could afford to live here. Right now, with the beginning of the war, special military operation, bullshit. So basically, many people moved here who cannot afford to live on the island. Yeah, so that's it's basically they are some type of refugees. You did have the choice to go and die somewhere or leave the country. So right now you have like kind of maybe a new contingent, a new layer of Russian-speaking, not expats. They are literally tourists, because whenever the situation with special military situation will and they will go back. They will never stay here because they don't have no mean of income and so on. But some people are desperate. They have no money. They have no savings. Yeah, majority of you I know, and you have savings, but many people don't. Yeah, so they are literally forced to find jobs and kind of like to combine to put food on the table. So and this is the new, and this is maybe the layer of they're particularly young. Maybe they're younger than 30. And they basically they escape just the military draft. This is the tiny layer people are offended from or with, you know. So why? It's not clear to me. So again, clearly they are less polished, less traveled, less cultured, you know. But they will adapt, you know. So like as I say, like literally. And every September, like for me, the year, like with new Russian kind of like people who move to the island starts in September. So because every September people come, and all these meetings every Monday is we hold in Russian language. That's just for fun, because like not because I want to. Yeah. So again, just because people don't speak English. And you know what happens after New Year? Right now, we're holding all of the evenings in English because people picked up language, so that's fucking fantastic. Yeah. So again, it's again, I don't have any problems, but just like people need to, firstly, don't judge, don't generalize, don't use stereotypes which are wrong. Yeah, and do not hate. You know, like whenever you hate a particular group of people, you are not in control when the majority of people will hate you. Yeah. So whatever, it's a very easy rule of life. Whatever you don't want that would be done to you, don't do to others. Very easy. That we will live in a perfect world where everyone will act just by this simple rule. Okay. So and it's just kind of like a mob rule. But I don't judge like kind of Indonesians because they're just like again very very often uneducated and. Rather politicians playing games to gain better positions in the election and whatever. So basically, they are being manipulated, but by bad players. Yeah, but this is not in general. It's not kind of like go out in every cafe which you are sitting and you will say, ask what's your opinion about Russians. They will say, great. Half of my customers are. Yeah, so like great. So that means there is nothing to see. There is not a problem. It's just rather media mob and whatever. It's just rather, as I say, it's artificial created hatred. Yeah, but there's how to say. It's like it's just it has no merit, or it has no real reason to exist.
And from the point of view of business, like let's say companies that want to come and do business here, taking into account that a lot of the customers will be Russian-speaking customers, right? So that's what I mean.
Money doesn't stink. This is like we know since Roman toilet taxes. Yeah. So like again, you understand? Literally I hear this question so many times. So really, your customers are Russian? I say like, okay, bring me any other. You understand? So let's say Jamaicans, like all the Jamaicans expat in Bali decide PARQ is the place to meet. Yeah. I will take their money as well. You know, Japanese, okay. Mongolian, okay. Like any.
Yeah, but you have to just, let's say, the restaurant. If it's Japanese people who have to come here, then you will probably have a Japanese restaurant. So
we have a Japanese restaurant. I just try to carry it. Look. We will not open like kind of like pilmeni or pirogi restaurant. So fuck no. Yeah. So like again, I don't want Russian menus. You know. So because like you need to be exposed, you cannot live in your bubble, you know. So no, kind of look. Again, I grew up in Germany. Yeah, I'm again German. Yeah, but I was born to German parents in Kazakhstan. Again, so I moved. My life is like really example of that you should not live in a ghetto. Yeah, so I moved to Germany. And I immediately, like from the first month, I went to German school. I got a German girlfriend and so on. After 2 months, I was fluent in German, okay? So the alternative scenario was coming there, settling somewhere in a like kind of like a Russian-dominated kind of enclave, yeah. So like kind of like Brighton Beach or whatever, yeah. So living there, never learning English, German language, you know, and being a loser all of your life, you know. So that means you need exposure. You need you need exposure. And then literally I got so much hatred, like so it's just like if I was speaking German, they were saying like, what, you think you're better than us? Fuck you, like obviously I'm better than you, yeah. So like because I'm not this retard who is sitting in my ghetto and kind of like showering is in nostalgic, you know. So like I know enough idiots like who have in Germany at the back of their like car stickers like Karaganda, like whatever, like love Kazakhstan, whatever, some shit, you know. So I don't want to be one of them, yeah, and I'm not, I never was, yeah. So again, we need exposure to other cultures. You cannot segregate. You cannot build kind of like ethnic enclaves. It's never good. It's never good because why would you do it? It's rather inferiority or like kind of like built on fears. Yeah. So so then on being cool and well traveled. Yeah. You understand. You understand this very well. Yeah.
Yes,
if you're coming from the States.
I'm an expert in the United States, so.
No, then you see, then we agree.
No, that's what
two of us
totally
agree.
Like I want to understand, like, do you see that these two cultures have a lot in common? Do you see that they're integrating?
We're speaking about
way?
Indonesian culture.
Yes.
Oh, well. Look, what is an Indonesian culture? Indonesia has 17,000 islands. 17,000.
Okay, Bali's culture.
Bali. Look about Bali. Like a lot. I have lots of unpopular opinion. You know that all the Balinese which are living here are actually refugees from Java, coming from Java. Do you know that the native Bali population living in the mountains that they call Bali Aga, and it's a very small minority of the people who originally were. So every Balinese is already a refugee coming from Java. Every Balinese, okay? So if you ask them, they are happy to admit that they are actually not the original Balinese. They are refugees to this island. They're basically the Hindu Javanese which moved to this because this island has been granted to them as a religious refugium. Okay, so that's the story. So like being shit to other people will undermine their own position in the history. You know, so it's just rather people. Some people are educated, some are not. You know, I cannot ask a rice farmer, do you like that that we are here? Yeah, but I ask smart people. I'm happy to arrange for you some meetings with some smart people, and we say, fuck yes, it's great, thank you for coming here. Because they were saying 30 years ago I was like, again, a rice farmer, and I was going behind a cow plowing the field, but now it's a citation. So saying, and now I have Jack Daniels, and now and driving a Harley Davidson. So you understand? So that's progress, you know. So that's progress, and clearly, like again, no, just take the right now, Bali, particularly, it's a island of happiness, literally. But this is built on tourism and a demand for Bali, for this island by the world tourism, let's say. You understand? So basically, and it's true like for all of our stuff. So not many people know. Nobody here knows. Also, maybe some people I told about. Every Balinese person you know, like this gentleman, is a dollar millionaire. It is. So every family in Bali has 2 hectares, an average price for land which they own. In worst case, a hectare of land is $1 million. Yeah. So every Balinese is a dollar millionaire. You are poor, all poor compared to them. So they just don't know. But they are not financially literate. Yeah. So they don't know how to act on these riches. Yeah. So you understand. But they are actually very wealthy, very wealthy. They just don't know how to act on it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing. And every other island, including Java, really are jealous to Bali because they're it's this wealth island. You know, island of wealth. You know. Everyone is a millionaire, yeah. But so clearly, no, kind of, you understand, but the value of land here is built literally on the tourism. If 20 million tourists coming every year, so that means like some of them, a percentage want to stay, want to settle down, open businesses, build hotels, and so on. Yeah. So if we thinking about Bali, what do we think about as a amount? We can replicate Balinese culture. Yeah. But what is the reason people come here? Basically, the 5-star chain hotels, they just like 4 Seasons open and saying, come to Bali, yeah. And then Bulgari open, come to Bali, and Kempinski and so on. But like, right, so let's think the tourism away. Let's take away all their businesses which have been built by foreign investment. And so will Bali remain an island of millionaires, dollar millionaires? Fuck no, yeah. So, because Lombok is clearly not an island, and it's much better looking than Bali, way better looking than Bali. It's way emptier, way bigger. Yeah, it has glaciers, but also like 1,000 kilometers of beautiful white sand beaches, and there's no tourism there. Yeah, so because what? So because again, they don't have like kind of like the kindness of Balinese people. They don't have and they don't have the Bali brand. Yeah, so like try to bring investors to Lombok. You will die on this hill. Yeah, so again, so I will say Bali has Bali won a lottery ticket by kind of like maybe coincidence, maybe connected, like kind of like happy things happened to this island. And the people were kind enough, always like, it has a very picturesque culture. Again, read up about Walter Spies or Charlie Chaplin living here and so on. Like kind of like the Hollywood elite was living here in the 20s. Yeah, so and just basically creating a Bali brand. So again, Ari Smith, whatever. Like there are many kind of foreigners who fell in love in Bali, exported their paintings, photography, showed them worldwide. People saying, wow, there's like an island with beautiful people, kind people with amazing like kind of like spiritual life. I want to go there, and it happens. It took 100 years, but again, it's happened. Yeah. So but you cannot remove again today the entire foreign investment and tourism from here. It will go to level of Lombok or So again, so Balinese cannot complain about having tourists here, because again, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a cultural exchange, and I will say Balinese are most, how to say, also like exposed. They are at the front of like kind of like this liberalization or opening, like the cosmopolitan, let's say, I will say, development of Indonesia. So it's just great for them. Like again, they are the first for coming to riches. Yeah. So. And how much the culture will intervene, I don't know. But I see that the kind of like the impact of last 100 years of tourism has been good. Yeah. So they are doing well, I will say.